You heard what the French media historian said there. If we start taking into account how a cartoon is received, then we won't do anything anymore, because with each drawing you can unintentionally touch a category of the population. This has been the crux of the debate across Europe, not just France. The religion of Islam prohibits images of Allah, Muhammad and all major prophets. But European publications continue with their depictions, citing freedom of expression. This report recounts the many violent flashpoints.
The Prophet Mohammed preached that he was a simple man, a messenger for the word of Allah or God, not to be revered himself as a deity. Islamic scholars interpret those teachings as a complete prohibition on any portrayal of the Prophet. Non-Muslims may find that strange, but this is one of the central tenets of Islam. Worship God alone. Idolatry is forbidden. But many European publications have tested these rules of Islam. Charlie Hebdo has gained worldwide fame for its controversial cartoons of the Prophet. Muslims across the world have protested against their covers. But for the journalists at Charlie Hebdo, the offense is the point. They believe that submitting to the demands of the Muslim community will damage French secularism. Secularism is a very important part of the French culture. The constitution requires the government to remain neutral towards religion. At the same time, public displays of religious faith are discouraged. But Charlie Hebdo's tough stand triggered deep divisions, with members of the Muslim community taking to the streets, asking the French magazine to respect their religion. France is not the only European country to witness divisions like these. This is a tussle between freedom of speech and religion, and a cultural conflict playing out across Europe. It began 15 years ago. Danish newspaper Jyllands-Posten carried controversial depictions of the Prophet. The newspaper published a series of them. Some depicted the Prophet as a terrorist with a bomb. The cartoons brought worldwide fame for its editor Fleming Rose. They also earned him enemies. There was a huge outcry in the Islamic world. Danish goods were boycotted in Muslim countries. Denmark's diplomats were issued summons in Tehran and Baghdad. Several European newspapers responded by reprinting the controversial cartoons. Things became much worse for Swedish artist Lars Vilks. He has been a target of at least 2 failed assassination attempts. Vilks had created controversial cartoons of the Prophet for an art exhibition. The Al-Qaeda put a $100,000 bounty on his head. He had to be put under police protection. In recent times, the depiction of the Prophet has become a political issue. 2 years ago, Dutch politician Geert Wilders announced that he planned to hold a Prophet Mohammed cartoon competition. The event was shelved over fears of a violent backlash. But last year, Wilders revived the competition. A smaller version, it lasted only for a few hours. A photograph of a dark man was declared as the winner. The debate over the depiction of the Prophet will perhaps never be resolved. The Muslim community is on one side, asking publishers to respect their religion. On the other side are journalists, asking for freedom of speech. Bureau Report, WION, World is One.